Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to the final ever episode of The Umbrella Academy. That is Season 4, Episode 6, titled End of the Beginning. With Ben and Jennifer in peril and the cleanse underway, the family unites for one last fight to save the world and end the infinite devastation. Now, I'm coming into this with lowered expectations. I have heard from multiple trusted sources that this is not it's not a good season finale, let alone a series finale. However, they also didn't like the last episode, and I loved the last episode. Except for the Five and Lila stuff, like, you could see it happening, them being stuck together for that long. It was inevitable. However, I reckon you did that season 3 with the chemistry that Five and Lila had, fine. You do that season 2 with the weird chemistry that Five and Lila had, fine. However, they had to wait until Aiden was 18 before they could pair him up with her, which is why they waited until the final season. Yeah, so they were always planning on pairing the two up. They just had to wait for the whole he's underage issue to clear up. And yet, they had absolutely no chemistry this season. The season they actually pulled the trigger, they had no chemistry. Also, there are kids in the mix, so that should have swayed them away from it even more. Anyway, enough ragging about the one thing of this season I didn't like so far. But yeah, I'm interested to see what gets addressed, because there are still several plot points in this that need to be addressed. And sure, it's an hour and 9 minutes, but I'm assuming that since it's the end of the entire show, this is going to have an extended credits at the end. Well, not that much. It's only an extra the last 5 minutes. And it looks like there may be a little scene at the end of it, but yeah, so an hour 4 to wrap everything up. Can they do it? I'll just wait and see. But let's get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. My microphone was in my way. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say now, there's not gonna be a Saturday series that's picking up. I'm shifting it to a Sunday series, Sunday morning. So, Map of the Problematic. I'm not familiar with that name. Oh, there is a lot of these keepers. Why was there just a gun under the counter? It's America, so. No one's reacting to this. Is everyone a keeper? Well, there's someone who's not, but I was beginning to think that this was like a Hargreaves town, but with keepers instead of Hargreaves workers. Hmm. The final episode, rather than an umbrella, a sparrow, or the upside down one, it's the blown out umbrella. Hmm. Gross. Did you phone up your siblings about where you are? Hmm. Both sides have a human and an alien. This is gonna be real awkward for Abigail, isn't it? Is think I'm going to be able to sense that it's. That's a good point. It's nice to see them on the same page. Luther, put some pants on. So do they know his extended family or? Oh yeah, no, because it was at the birthday party, so of course they know. I love how the subtitles were Gene. You no I'm so fucking confused. Is she not gonna recognize? Hmm. Oh, I mean, you don't have to do anything, and they'll tear each other apart. And she's dead. I was expecting an alien stab, not a katana slice, but oh yeah, I completely forgot to pick up on the fact that in the last episode, if they'd have made it back to the original timeline, They would have been in well, this timeline, still in the past. I don't know how I didn't pick up on that when they were getting on the train. Now we just need Klaus, Allison, and Claire. There we go. What was? Oh, Chris is putting stick. I was wondering what was on his face. He's leaving, isn't he? I don't know. Okay, that's a weird. Hmm. You reckon Victor can fly with his powers? May not have been able to take them all on, but can take out one. This is really gross and giving me Last of Us vibes. I love how he's off doing his own thing with Rachel. Meanwhile, these are just having a family Christmas get together. Five, don't. Tell him the truth. Now you understand why she was so excited to see everyone. There is still the question of how did a book with Five's handwriting end up in the under the subway? Well, that was convenient. I wonder what the people outside's reaction is going to be if he does leave the building. Yeah, he's still got his powers, okay. I wonder what happens if Victor also makes contact with Jennifer. Does he then also become a part of the cleanse? Like, can they dilute it by having the entire family take on a part of the issue? God damn it. Oh, hello. 5. Teleport everyone out of there. Did Luther just say he was stuck? For Diego. Oh, hey, he did it. And Lila can still mimic. What's with the little... Well, I guess they are doing... You can take his place. The hell was that? He saved Victor. Hmm. Um... Well, the squid and the girl become one. Poor Klaus. I think you made it mad. So she now has two abilities, because she can still mimic, and just an innate eye lasers. Seems every time you damage it, and your punch is going to do nothing. Luther's being assimilated, almost. Where did he just go? Unfortunately, you lost your Where you going? You going back to the farm? We're gonna follow 5. He's going to put the book back onto the where his past self found it. Then he's gonna show up, reverse time. Same thing I did all those years ago. Hmm. So she didn't want him to use the marigold on. I'm guessing the Durango seeks out the marigold. That's why it could see it in the umbrellas. So I guess it also manifested a host or found a host in the world. It's like following. Hmm. I was expecting to see their aliens forms. Like at the end, drop all disguises. That's a clean looking subway. So far, I don't see why people are hating on this episode. Like, I'm enjoying it. I know I'm not commenting much, but that's just because I'm trying to take it all in. Because it's not a bad episode so far. Unless something really screws it up in the next 20 minutes, which could happen. Who's he gonna meet in the subway? Hmm? Somehow 5 always survives at the end. So, hmm. Considering this is called Max's Delicatessen, and the only people here are fives, it's run by fives. Perhaps 5 adopts the name Max. How could 5 get 5's order wrong? A whole bunch of the same people. Um, no duplicate. No. Okay. I thought he meant we, as in 5's. Hmm. Hmm. So, I meant to be one timeline, and the family screws it up every time. Is the only way to save it to get rid of them? To stop the marigold from being released? Hmm. But here's the thing, if they do that, then they're not going to exist. I was right about the you doing it as a family. Killing an infinite number of? Well, I mean, this is a good way to ensure it never gets renewed in the future with some other person heading the. And it'll also have never existed. Hmm. I mean, theoretically, if you take them to the subway, put them on the subway that goes to the original timeline, and everything else gets erased, they should arrive with their memories still intact. Sort of like the universe surviving arcs in the Marvel comics that the Ultimates built. They survived the extinction of their universe by traveling between them to another one, and they were the only ones that existed and remembered. So, same thing should theoretically happen here. She's just got them banked, has she? And Lila Blink's back alone. Hmm. And run off just before the doors close. Hmm. I was expecting its face to be right there. How do we do this? One thing I do reckon would be a little more impactful, and I know this wouldn't really work because they needed Lila for the whole family dynamic of everything, but if they could exchange her out for Ben, like Lila's the one in the cleanse, Ben's there, so you have the Umbrella Academy facing it down as a family. I reckon that would have been a little more impactful, but an alternate take could have been in the way that um, Victor took the marigold from Harlan. Victor taking everyone's marigold into himself going from the one that has no powers and not being a part of the team to the one who sacrifices them to save the family and everything, that could have also been an impactful way to end this. Why is it melting? I was about to say, as usual, everyone has a partner except for Five. Really? Sending with I think. That's what they say when we're together. Who were the three old men? Is that the donut lady? Oh, I'm so bad with faces. I think that's the handler. Herb. Don't know him. Was she also commissioned or? But I had a notification pop up. Well, I don't know why that got the hate that it did. I quite liked that. It was a touching ending. Yeah, I did think of a couple ways it could have been like more impactful, like narratively, either having the original family all together at the end there, except it wouldn't be because different Ben, or having Victor go full circle. It could have been that, but yeah, I liked it. I know those three old men that were playing frisbee near um, Lila's family and Claire. I know we've seen them before. The woman with the stroller, I reckon we've seen before. I couldn't tell if that was Hazel walking with the donut lady. Hmm. Also, what happened to Reginald and all that in this original timeline? Did he not come to Earth? Hmm. And we still had no fucking answer as to what happened with Sloane. She just got deleted in the reset. Like, what happened to her? I'm guessing that there was a conflict with the actress that it couldn't come back. I'm assuming that's also what happened with Ray's actor. Like, I'm assuming that's happened, and like they knew enough in advance as to take her out of the ending scene of the last season. I'm guessing that because I also, other than that one shot of the sparrows, I didn't see any Sloane in these ending photos. 8 marigold flowers. Okay. I I liked that. I need to see. Let's bring up the um IMDb. I want to actually read into why people did not like this. Wish I could see Like, this was all rated mid. Like, you got sixes, sevens. The 6 years, 5 months, 2 days was a 5.7, which I'm guessing that got harsher because of the 5 and Lila. This was a 4.9. Like, why is it rated so harshly? Um, yeah. Um, who was Axel? Sorry, I'm going through the IMDb. Axel was one of the Swedes. He's the only surviving one. I'm guessing he was the one doing the sketching. Possibly? No. Hang on. I mean, were they the old ones? Trying to get a... Yeah, no, the Swedes were the guys with beards throwing the frisbee. The problem is I can't tell which ones of these are because of the credits or because of the actual episode. Let's see. Hazel is credited for this, so I guess that was him walking with Agnes. I was right about the handler, Herb, Dot. Yeah, I don't know who the one sketchy was. And I don't know who the lady with the stroller was. Because they were also focused on. But yeah, that wasn't a bad episode. I'm going to look into what people are actually saying about it. I didn't read any of the actual reviews. I just saw people shitting on it, so I'll be back in a sec. Okay. Having looked through several threads about why people disliked it, the general consensus seems to be the powers that they got make no sense. Why were some the same, some different, some the same but different, and all that just never gets explained. I don't have any issue with that. I think it's good to switch things up a bit. I do question Lila's mainly because why did she get laser eyes and the ability to copy? I feel like those are two different powers, but it was a final episode thing, and yeah. There was the unnecessary side plots, like apparently pretty much everything with Allison, everything with Klaus, Luther and Diego at the CIA. I mean, Klaus's one is an actual storyline from the comics in the Hotel Oblivion comics. I don't know why they decided to take it out of the Hotel Oblivion season, and then in the final season put it in. I'm guessing they just didn't have any other ideas of what to do with Klaus, so might as well just have him do something that Klaus does. But yeah, um, they complained about the cleanse making no sense because how does it destroy the universe? Why didn't they just feed the jar of marigold to the Durango? Why didn't why did Abigail say it's a greater sin? Yet she also unleashed it on another planet. Like they could have just kept the family away from Jennifer. None of this cleanse would have ever happened. Though another apocalypse probably would have, because that was the whole thing. Is if the cleanse doesn't happen, an apocalypse happens, and then they just jump to another timeline, and then an apocalypse happens. Like there are counterpoints for all of these arguments that they have brought up. There's the oh, I just had it and now I don't. Oh yeah, there was like, why did Reginald keep Jennifer alive if he know that she's the host of the Durango? Again, that one technically doesn't make sense. I'm assuming Abigail talked him out of it. That's my assumption because of the whole, if she dies, then an apocalypse is just going to happen. Like every argument that they brought up, there is in-universe explanations why. I still don't know what happened with. Apparently, logistical constraints in season 4 resulted in Sloane's storyline being scrapped. Basically, that means they couldn't figure out a way to make her fit into the story. They couldn't think of adding another plot point of what happened with her after the reset. What to explain why she wasn't with the others when they showed up. What happened in the 6 years that they were there. And all of that. So they just left her out. I did actually see that there were 5 deleted scenes that were showcased by Netflix. I'll see if I can get the link back up. And I agree they would have been nice to actually have had in the episodes. There was one of Klaus explaining all of the siblings to Lila's family, and then they're like, "Oh, we've heard about this really addictive. He was scumbag, stealing shit and everything. Which one of the siblings is that? Oh, that was actually me." And then they just dismiss him to talk amongst themselves. So 5 comes up. He's like, "Hey, how long have you been sober?" 3 years. That's real good, mate. And cheers. And it's basically just 5 comforting his brother after his brother's wife's family just dismisses him after finding out that he was the one they'd heard stories about. And that was good. There was an alternate take of Ben and Jennifer when Victor first sees the cleanse. It shows Ben looking out the window, rushing to Jennifer's side to comfort her, He's like, hey, we need to get out of here. They've surrounded the building. She's like, I can't move. Come on, I'll help you. Victor runs in, sees Ben, basically has the same interaction with him that they had in the episode, including the don't touch her and the distorted voice. It then has Ben turn to the mirror and you see the cleansed version of Ben and Jennifer, because the original scene, they were meant to look normal until it shows the mirror and Ben actually sees what is happening to them. I reckon that would have been interesting to have it be like, oh, Ben just thinks everything's normal. He's not staggering around, mutated and all that. And it's not until an outside force comes in and opens his eyes to everything that's going on. There was one of Klaus just wandering down the street after he's been given the... After he's left everyone. This is before he gets back to Allison's place. Of just staggering down the streets, bumping into everyone. And then he walks through someone. And this is would have been the first time we actually see he does have his ghost powers back. And they're not looking like blue shades. They're looking like normal people. But that was cut for some reason. There was a bonding moment between Diego and Luther in the backstage of the Luther's club while they're getting their suits for the FBI thing, where Luther asks, hey, am I a bad leader? He's lamenting on the fact that we just watched our father kill our brother. Ben didn't even want to go on that mission. I forced him to. Why couldn't I stand up to Dad? I should have stood up for the family, for Sloane. That would have been the only mention of Sloane in the season. And then Diego comforts him. He's like, am I a bad leader? I've always said you're a bad leader, but you're not a bad person. And then Luther's just like, hey, can you do one more thing for me? Take the glasses off and never wear them again. And then the final scene was a like almost 4-minute long thing of between picking Klaus up at the graveyard and arriving at Lila's family's place. Allison and Claire actually take Klaus to an AA meeting where he goes in. He's the only one there with the instructor. He's like, hey, I've been enough court-mandated sessions to know that even if there's one person here, then there's a class. So let me have this. She sits down with him, goes through the rigmarole at the start. He stops her and he's like, powerlessness. And he just goes on to vent about everything. And at the end, he turns around and sees that Allison and Claire were actually there. They come in, they comfort him. He has a touching moment with the two people that he's been with this entire time. Like, every one of these would have been good to have in the season. And if they just had a little more time, it could have been. Like, maybe the Klaus walking down the street wasn't necessary. It was... I can't even find it specifically anymore because it was so short. But it would have just shown that, yeah, his powers are back. They're slightly different. But, yeah, like, I don't have an issue with this season. I liked it. Is it the best season? No. I'd probably say the second season was the best. I liked season 3 more than a lot of people seem to. I liked season 1. I don't know if... I would say this is the weakest, probably only because it's so short. But it definitely wasn't bad. And that's the thing that... I've been saying this for a while. People don't understand what bad media actually is. They see anything that is in the mid rankings, so from about 4 to 7, they see that as bad. 7 onwards, it's good. Under 4, absolutely dog shit. Sometimes bordering on the so bad that it's good, but mid is what people regard as bad now. And it's just been getting worse and worse with the advent of so many shows coming out on demand. Like, people can watch it whenever they want through these streaming services and everything. People have been so inundated with media that they don't understand what bad and what mediocre is. As I said, this season, it was 6s and 7s for most of it. There was 1 5, and there was one that was 4.6. All of those are mid, yet this is a bad season. Look at The Acolyte. That was mid rankings for all the episodes, yet it was a bad show. Secret Invasion genuinely was bad. The Percy Jackson movies genuinely were bad. The Shadowhunters show, a lot of it was in that mid-range. And people say that it's not good. They don't say it was bad, they say not good. Because that was coming out before there were all of this content. So people have a much higher opinion of it than... But yeah, so... This season was not bad. It was okay. And that's it. That's all it really is. It's just okay. And would I watch it again? Yes. I'd probably binge the whole show now that it's finished. In a couple months, but... Yeah, it definitely was not bad. But this has just been my rant because this has been a long time coming with the amount of shows that I've watched that have been bad. And yeah, I just figured give you my 2 cents. These thoughts of mine probably aren't going to change. So just every time you see me react to a show, just remember, if I think it's mid, I don't think it's bad. If it's rated mid, it's not bad. But anyway, sort of killed my throat with all this ranting, so yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.